Good afternoon. My name is Paula Milone-Nuzzo, and as president of the MGH Institute of Health Professions, it is my pleasure to welcome the class of 2021 and their family and friends to our 41st commencement ceremony. This is not how any of us imagined celebrating the achievements of this outstanding class of 583 graduating healthcare professionals. I had hoped to celebrate with you and your proud family and friends, faculty and staff in person, but the COVID-19 pandemic has separated us in ways that we've never experienced before. Over the past year and a half, you have lived with incredible uncertainty. How the pandemic would play out, where would you be living, how you would be learning, all while trying to ensure your safety and that of your family. And throughout all of this, you have been extraordinary. You have embraced new ways of learning. You have joined the fight against COVID through your work at Boston Hope and the Assembly Row Vaccination Center. And you've innovated in the face of adversity, developing supports for those in need in our communities. You have inspired us by showing the true IHP spirit of leadership. The lessons learned in adapting during this time will serve you well in the future and as a healthcare professional. And while we are here today to celebrate your accomplishments, I can't overlook the amazing work of the faculty who have stood by you over these challenging times and through your successes to make sure you received this incredible education that we celebrate today. Our faculty did not skip a beat in transitioning your programs during the most challenging experience of our time. We could not be here today without our terrific faculty and our staff who support the programs. I know you all join me in thanking them all. Several years ago, you chose an interesting path on your journey to becoming a health professional or obtaining advanced degrees in your discipline. You chose to join a graduate school that focused exclusively on the education of health professionals. You recognized the unique education you would receive as part of an interprofessional education environment. You saw the collaborative culture of the IHP and knew that you would be an important part of a larger whole. And you saw the exemplary faculty who would begin as your teachers and end as your colleagues. You chose to be a leader in healthcare because you know the magnitude of the challenges that we are facing in healthcare. You want to be part of the solution, and we know you are poised to do great things. The beginnings of the IHP goes back to 1966 when Ruth Sleeper, director of the Massachusetts General Hospital School of Nursing, promoted the idea of a freestanding degree-granting institution affiliated with the hospital. Two very powerful physicians at the time, Dr. John Knowles and Dr. Charles Sanders, worked with Ms. Sleeper to create a model for graduate education of health professionals within the MGH organization. Their idea of educating health professionals together was innovative at the time, but they saw the importance of collaboration in practice. What we know now about the vision of Ms. Sleeper and Dr. Knowles and Sanders was that their concept of interprofessional education and practice was nothing short of revolutionary. Throughout these 4 decades, the IHP has continued to grow and change, and the number of alumni has grown to more than 9,000. In addition to celebrating all of you who are graduating today, we celebrate 41 years of graduating future leaders in health professions committed to transforming care. Graduation is a day of both excitement and reflection, a day for you to experience the great joy of having achieved something you set out to accomplish, but also with anxiety about having to assume the role of a healthcare provider with such enormous responsibility. I hope you are proud of your achievements, and I hope you are eager to get to work so decades from now you could look back and say you left things better than when you found them. Now, more than ever, the country's stark racial, health, and economic inequities are all too obvious to continue to be ignored. You can contribute to the solutions of these systemic problems by continuing your commitment to act against racism, standing up for social justice and equality wherever you see it, and supporting those who have experienced depression and marginalization based on the color of their skin. Your role in the fight for equality is more important than ever, and now the hard work begins. True to its founding vision, the MGH Institute continues to be at the forefront of educating tomorrow's healthcare leaders. And that includes all of you who are graduating today. You are the future of healthcare. You have both great opportunity and great challenge to make a difference in your chosen profession. There is, I believe, no more noble calling. Award ceremonies for the respective academic programs have been held prior to commencement to recognize outstanding achievements by members of this year's graduating class and faculty. The prizes and awards bestowed at the awards ceremonies are listed and described in each of the individual ceremony booklets. Congratulations to everyone who has received an award this year. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Peter Slavin, President and Chief Executive Officer of Massachusetts General Hospital. Peter's leadership has set an example of how an institution can excel in providing the most modern, high-technology care while not losing sight of the need for humanistic and compassionate care. I'm so glad Peter has joined us today. Peter?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Peter Slavin. I'm the president of Mass General Hospital, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here at this graduation of the MGH Institute of Health Professions. I want to extend my warmest wishes and congratulations to all of our graduates. I do that not only on my own behalf, but on behalf of the entire MGH community. I also want to congratulate your family and friends for also supporting you and getting you to this important stage in your professional careers. This past year has obviously been one unlike any we've known before. We've seen so much suffering as a result of COVID, with people dying, people suffering long-term symptoms, people being isolated from their loved ones, and all of us experiencing some degree of social isolation. But at the same time, we've also seen amazing things happen in our own lives and in the lives of our society. We've seen so much courage in the fight against COVID. We've seen scientific miracles and creation of now several vaccines that are on the market and gradually stamping out this illness. And we've just seen courage and ingenuity, the likes of which we've never experienced before. So this really has been both the best of times and the worst of times, and I hope in the long term we will remember primarily the better aspects of what happened and take those lessons forward. I want to particularly congratulate you on completing your education during this past year. This required a particular degree of focus and determination to get to mind your studies and get the training that you needed to be successful in your professional career. So I've attended these graduations in the past and have always extended my congratulations to the graduates, but you deserve particular congratulations for having completed your studies at this moment in our history. Looking ahead to the future, I know given the quality of the applicants and the people who train at the IHP and the quality of the education that you've had, you have nothing but very bright futures ahead of you, whether you're going into nursing, physical therapy, or any of the other disciplines that the IHP trains people so well in. I encourage you to keep up with the scientific changes in your discipline. The truth is that within not too many years, what you've learned at the IHP scientifically will become obsolete because medical science is changing so quickly, and so please do your best to keep up with all the changes in your discipline. One thing that I hope you will never change, however, is the kindness with which you treat your patients. I hope and expect that you learned how to do that during your experience at the IHP. I hope that will be a hallmark of your careers in the future, is to treat people not only with the expertise that you've developed, but also with the kindness that everybody wants from their healthcare providers. And I hope as you embark on your careers that you will pay particular attention to the needs of disadvantaged populations and take whatever steps you can in your practice to address them. There are too many equities affecting people in our society, none more unforgivable than inequities in the healthcare that people receive. And so I hope you will bend over backwards going forward to make sure that everyone gets the healthcare that they deserve, and I expect that you'll do nothing less. So again, on behalf of everyone here at Mass General Hospital, congratulations on this incredible milestone in your careers. Congratulations to the graduates, their families, their friends, and all the best in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peter. Your continued support of the IHP is so very much appreciated. We are so fortunate to be part of the MGH family. For the third time in IHP's history, our commencement speaker is a member of the graduating class. John Paul Bonadana competed to represent the class of 2021. It is my honor to introduce him to you. John Paul grew up in a small town in Ontario, Canada. He pursued a Bachelor of Science in Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience at the University of Michigan. After graduation, he moved with his partner to Phoenix, Arizona, where he researched treatments for substance abuse disorders at Arizona State University. Due to his interests in neurological deficits and mental health, he chose to pursue a doctorate in occupational therapy. During his time at the IHP, he has served as Vice President of the Student Government Association, founded the annual Cultural Science Day at Harvard-Kent Elementary School, founded the IHP Coalition of Occupational Therapy Advocates for Diversity, COTAD, chapter, and co-founded the IHP Mentorship Program for underrepresented groups in healthcare. He now looks forward to a career as an occupational therapist in a neurorehabilitation setting, and later intends on pursuing a PhD in rehabilitation sciences.
Thank you, President Mylone Nuzzo. It is an honor to be speaking today on behalf of the graduating class of 2021. And thank you to all the families, friends, faculty, and other mentors who have aided us on the journey to this moment. It is no understatement to say that we have all been challenged far greater than we could have anticipated when we began our respective programs, intellectually, emotionally, creatively. Yet here we are today, having completed our coursework, our clinical experiences, and our research. All of this is a testament to our resiliency. For those who do not know me, my name is John Paul Bonadana. I grew up in Canada, the son of Peruvian and Italian immigrants who worked tirelessly to create a better life for me and my siblings. I chose to pursue a career in occupational therapy because of my own experiences as a patient with epilepsy. This type of diagnosis results in what we in the profession call occupational deprivation, when participation in certain activities of daily life is restricted due to circumstances beyond one's control. I had to learn to build resiliency from a young age, which drove me to help others find new and creative ways to continue meaningful participation in their own daily lives. During my Level 2 fieldwork placement in an inpatient psychiatric unit, I had the privilege of leading a group on stress management and building resiliency using 4 S's: social support, strategies, sagacity, and solution-seeking behaviors. When reflecting back on our time here at the MGH Institute of Health Professions, these 4 S's were fundamental to the development of our own resiliency through experiences with each other, our faculty, and the greater community. We formed deep connections and social supports through interactions with our classmates, student organizations, and interdisciplinary opportunities. We learned invaluable strategies by navigating the graduate school experience, balancing our studies with other demands of daily life. We gained sagacity, or wisdom, through the teachings of wise professors, mentors, and our own unique lived experiences. And finally, solution-seeking behaviors. Those are what differentiate us as healthcare practitioners and researchers from the IHP. All of us here today are either receiving a clinical degree or, in the case of our PhD graduates, are already experienced clinicians. Over the past year and a half, the resiliency of our patients and our healthcare system have been tested like never before. When I reflect upon this past year, one particular patient comes to mind. A man in his late 80s who experienced a spinal cord injury, leaving him with very limited use of his arms and legs. Despite his devastating diagnosis, at an age where one should be enjoying their well-deserved leisure time, this patient took on every rehab session with fortitude and determination to regain function. Over time, his grip strengthened, and he could independently feed himself with adaptive equipment. Eventually, we were able to work on handwriting. Then, one day, I came onto the rehab unit and he was gone. He had been diagnosed with COVID-19 and taken to another part of the hospital. In Becoming, Michelle Obama says, "Grief and resilience live together." In the case of this patient, her words ring true. He thankfully survived his diagnosis, but when he returned to rehab a few weeks later, he had lost many of his functional gains. He was beginning to accept that he may never walk again. But he was resilient. He harnessed the sagacity one can only have from years of lived experiences, coupled with the social support of his wife and the strategies he learned both in and out of rehab. He carried on and restored those functional gains. This is but one of countless similar stories that the graduates in this room have been a part of over the past year. When I asked one graduate from genetic counseling how the events of the past year have shaped her vision going forward as a healthcare provider, she said, "We find ways to provide care no matter what obstacles are present. It has also shown us that there is a lot of privilege in healthcare." It is imperative to highlight her last point and the role that we as healthcare professionals must take going forward. The outcomes of the past year have come as no surprise to communities of color who regularly face challenges accessing quality healthcare in the United States. Right here in Boston, as in much of the country, this pandemic has disproportionately affected Black and Latinx residents, immigrants, people experiencing homelessness, people with disabilities, people who are incarcerated, and other vulnerable populations. The truth is that many in our communities do not get the chance to build the kind of resiliency afforded to those with privilege. They are not afforded access to the same strategies. Solution-seeking behaviors are met with countless barriers. We must ask ourselves, what role can we, soon-to-be clinicians, play? Through our coursework, we have built a toolbox of treatment interventions, theories, research methods, and ways to improve our clinical reasoning. But the events of the past year have highlighted that our role must go beyond that of practitioner. To practice business as usual is to be complicit in a system that provides different levels of care depending on the color of your skin, how much money you make, your disability status, your immigrant status, and so on. So how will we choose to let the challenges of the past year shape us? What kind of healthcare providers will we choose to be? As graduates from the MGH Institute of Health Professions, we are capable of a greater calling than just practicing with competency in our respective fields. When you enter the workforce, join committees, and if they do not already exist, create them. Be the advocate, both in and outside of your workplace. Get directly involved with the local community. What needs are not being met? and consider what contributions you can make to systemic changes. I have met so many inspiring student leaders at the IHP. When the time comes, step into leadership positions in your workplaces, in academia, and in public service. The fact is, we need more representation from healthcare and science. Let us use the resiliency we have built over the course of our studies and through our own personal challenges to create a more socially just healthcare system and lead with a framework that emphasizes equitable care for all. Thank you again, and congratulations to the graduating class of 2021.
JP, on behalf of all of us at the Institute, but especially on behalf of today's graduating class, we are grateful for your words of wisdom to this new cohort of healthcare professionals. It is now my pleasure to introduce our Board of Trustees Chair, Dr. Jeanette Ives Erickson. Jeanette began her healthcare career as a nurse, earning her diploma from Mercy Hospital School of Nursing, her BSN from Westbrook College, her MS from Boston University, and her Doctorate of Executive Nursing Practice from the MGH Institute. She is Chief Nurse Emerita at Massachusetts General Hospital and is the inaugural incumbent of the Paul M. Erickson Endowed Chair in Nursing. Most recently, she was profiled in the Boston Globe's Tribute to Trailblazers, honoring groundbreaking women in science and medicine for running the MGB vaccination clinic at Assembly Row and the Boston Hope COVID-19 Field Hospital. Jeanette?
Thank you, Paula, for that wonderful introduction. As has been the case since the COVID-19 pandemic began in 2020, I've continued to be amazed by how MGH Institute students, faculty, and alumni have made significant contributions to patient care. Both nursing and physician assistant students have worked hard vaccinating people in our community. Many right here at the Mass General Brigham Vaccination Center, where I've been working for the past several months. In addition, scores of people from the IHP community in the genetic counseling, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech-language pathology programs have continued to exemplify dedication and service to the greater good that is the hallmark of what it means to be a graduate of the Institute. The mission of the Institute is distinctive. We prepare health professionals and scientists to advance care for a diverse society through leadership in education, clinical practice, research, and community engagement. You are joining a community of more than 9,300 alumni who are among the best in their field. I am confident you will follow in their footsteps and continue that important mission. As healthcare leaders, take pride in your courage, adaptability, dedication to patients, and to the team. Stay focused in this time of uncertainty. As members of the healing professions, you must lead by example, lead by always taking the moral high ground, and lead by understanding that life is precious. We have turned a corner on COVID-19 as we continue to see the number of cases going down dramatically, and life is beginning to look more normal. Find common ground, look at the goodness in all people, and always be resilient. Resilience is described as a dynamic process encompassing positive adaptation within the context of significant adversity. And it takes time, strength, and help all the people around you. So in this time of significant change, always remember to believe in yourself, our fellow human beings, and always understand that as leaders, we bear a special responsibility to care for and about others. I am now honored to have the opportunity to award only the 6th honorary degree in the Institute's history. Until 6 years ago, the IHP did not award honorary degrees. Because of our growth and success, the trustees believed we were at a point in our history to pursue authorization by the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education to award honorary degrees. to recognize excellence and extraordinary achievement in significant areas of human endeavor, within which are embodied the mission and core values of the MGH Institute of Health Professions, and to honor meritorious and outstanding service to the MGH Institute of Health Professions and/or to society at large. Ann Caldwell fulfills both the letter and spirit of these stated purposes in light of her extraordinary achievements, contributions, and impact on healthcare broadly, and on the MGH Institute of Health Professions specifically. I am confident in saying that the many students, alumni, faculty, senior leaders, and trustees of the Institute have all benefited from Ann's vision, dedication, philanthropy, and her deep and abiding affection for the Institute. Today, we are proud to bestow on her the Doctor of Humane Letters. I would like now to read excerpts from the resolution adopted by the Board of Trustees to recognize Ann's service and notable contributions in support of the Institute. Whereas Ann W. Caldwell has served admirably and faithfully as president of the MGH Institute of Health Professions for 10 years, committing her time, talents, and generous philanthropy towards its betterment. And whereas over the course of her career, she consistently expressed her belief in the commitment to the mission of the MGH Institute and its role as a leading force in both higher education and healthcare in both her words and actions. And whereas president from 1997 to 2007, Ann Caldwell provided extraordinary leadership during one of the most turbulent times in the history of the IHP, and with her steadfast leadership, vision, and tenacity, formed the foundation for the excellence in health professions education we see today. And whereas in 1997, the IHP Alumni Association was established, the first students were admitted to the Clinical Investigation Program and the Communication Sciences and Disorders Program, and the Physical Therapy Program received full accreditation. And whereas through her work with then Board Chair Tish Emerson, the IHP received a $2 million gift from the Catherine Filene Schaus Foundation to purchase Building 36 in the Navy Yard. By 2003, fundraising for the building raised a total of $4.4 million, and the building was named in honor of Catherine Filene Schaus, which was then renovated, creating a state-of-the-art healthcare education facility and the permanent home for the IHP. And whereas Ms. Caldwell grew enrollments, increased fundraising, and diversified programmatic offerings, her focus on the financial health of the IHP moved the IHP from yearly losses to small bottom-line margins. And whereas Ms. Caldwell's commitment to interprofessional education during her tenure provided the foundation for the IHP's national leadership in interprofessional education and practice. Therefore, be it resolved that the trustees of the MGH Institute of Health Professions on this 29th day of August in the year 2021 do hereby convey their heartfelt gratitude to Ann W. Caldwell and bestow upon her the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters, in recognition of her many contributions that have elevated the IHP to a position of prominence as a leading health professions graduate school. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I offer our heartfelt gratitude and congratulations.
Thank you, Jeanette. I'm thrilled to accept this honorary degree, and I'm honored to be counted among you, the Institute graduates of 2021. I hope you will celebrate today all you have achieved and savor for the rest of your life the promise and possibilities your Institute degree confers. Since its founding over 40 years ago, the Institute has been dedicated to preparing leaders in the health professions. During your time at the Institute, you've been forged by an extraordinary global pandemic, by experiences you will never forget, and which have prepared you in ways you never imagined. The pandemic has also exposed serious flaws in the healthcare system, locally, nationally, and worldwide, calling for new and courageous leadership. If some of society's greatest challenges are racial injustice, wealth inequality, and climate change, those too are the challenges you will face as you pursue your careers in healthcare. In 1968, Martin Luther King delivered a sermon titled The Drum Major's Instinct. He said, "There is deep down within all of us an instinct. It's a kind of drum major instinct, a desire to be out front, a desire to lead the parade, a desire to be first." He went on to describe how that instinct can lead us down dangerous paths of arrogance, self-aggrandizement, and greed. But, he said, if it leads us to a committed life, to be first in service to others, then those selfish aims are replaced by selfless ones. You have already chosen professions that by their very definition commit you to service to others. But in addition to the intimate, caring relationships many of you will have with your patients, I hope you will actively participate in healthcare innovation and reform. Never see yourself as a victim of the system, but as an agent of change. I had not worked in healthcare before coming to the Institute as its president, nor was I sure I was qualified, having spent my career in traditional colleges and universities. But Martina Horner, then the chair of the Institute board, was dogged in persuading me that this was just the job for me. And she was right, because it turned out to be the best job I ever had. In truth, the Institute was not very appealing in 1997, with fewer than 500 students, a $1 million deficit on a $9 million budget, and the new Partners executive team had voted to get rid of it. But even then, the Institute had good bones. A strong faculty, many of them recognized nationally as leaders in their fields, a reputation for agility in creating and discontinuing programs to meet changing workforce needs, and an unrealized aspiration to break down the silos among the professions, what you now call interprofessional education. Finally, coming from traditional colleges and universities, I noted that the Institute had no tenure, no football team, no dormitories, and no parking. That sounded like heaven to me. I learned so much during the decade I spent at the Institute. I especially learned from the faculty, just as you have, telling them that if I was to credibly represent them and the Institute, they would have to educate me about their professions. I vividly remember the first faculty meeting I attended, sitting in the back of the room, listening to a faculty presentation. They spoke in what sounded to me like a foreign language. So I turned to the person next to me and I whispered, "What does aphasia mean?" If I don't ask, I thought, I'll never learn. Many of those lessons have served me well since, both professionally and personally, including in the past several years when I became the reluctant and slightly inept caregiver for my husband. But I also learned how layered and complex our healthcare system is, despite the incredibly brilliant and dedicated people who work in it. So how did Martina persuade me to take the job as president? She finally said, "The Institute needs a leader. If you know how to lead, you can do this job." To paraphrase her, healthcare today needs leaders. And if you know how to lead, and I'm sure you do, then you can do the job. Think of your Institute diploma as your drum major's baton. Carry it with determination and pride. Wield it in service to your patients, but also to create a healthcare system that is more equitable, accessible, and just. I'm immensely proud of how the Institute has grown and evolved since my time. not only in size and scope, but in reputation and impact. When we first moved the Institute from a high-rise office building on Merrimack Street to the Schaus building, I used to walk around the Charlestown Navy Yard and imagine a campus that's spread out among the many harborside buildings, the library here, the nursing program there, and so on. It was a dream then, which has now been mostly realized. I hope your dreams, throughout your careers in healthcare, also come to pass.
Thank you so much, Anne, for that wonderful speech. Each year at Commencement, we have the pleasure of presenting 2 Alumni Awards. A full description of these awards is in your program. As these awards are presented, I ask that you think about the fact that both accomplished graduates of the IHP were once sitting where you are today. I know you share our collective pride in their leadership contributions to improving health and healthcare. Our first award, the Emerging Leader Alumni Award, goes to an IHP alumnus who graduated within the past 10 years and who has demonstrated outstanding leadership and made significant contributions to their professional discipline and/or healthcare in general. This year's recipient is 2019 Master of Nursing graduate Tasia Coleman. While she was a student, Tasia advocated academically, socially, and within her research studies for marginalized communities and communities of color at the Institute. Additionally, her leadership of the student organization, Students for Racial Justice in Healthcare, connected many IHP students across disciplines, both socially and professionally. Following graduation, Tasia analyzed and synthesized the data she gathered at the Institute to name and address structural, institutional, and societal racism. Her findings resulted in a paper published in the Journal of Nursing Education entitled Anti-Racism in Nursing Education, Recommendations for Racial Justice Praxis. This paper provides a 6-sided approach to addressing racism within higher education programs focused on training healthcare professionals. Her work is not only grounded within research, but it is based on praxis that was implemented due to her own initiatives or through close observation as a student on campus. Tasia shows an unwavering dedication to people of color in her professional life as well. In her first position after graduation, she worked at a community health clinic that prioritized making healthcare accessible to low-income individuals who may also have been undocumented and monolingual Spanish speakers. In her current position, she is in an innovative clinic for women of color that prioritizes making interdisciplinary and holistic care accessible via telehealth and through online platforms. Tasia, you are an emerging leader in nursing across the areas of research, direct patient care, innovation, and the transformation of nursing education. We are honored to present you with the Emerging Leader Award and know that you will make many more contributions to the field of nursing in the years to come. The second Alumni Award is the Betty Ann Harris Distinguished Alumni Award, the highest form of recognition awarded to a graduate of the Institute. This award is named in honor of the Institute's first master's degree graduate. This award is given to an alumnus who graduated 10 or more years ago and who has demonstrated exceptional leadership, achievement, and service in advancing healthcare. We are honored to recognize Dr. Melissa Agromanicus as the recipient of the 2021 Betty Ann Harris Distinguished Alumni Award. A graduate of the DPT program in 2010, Melissa has wasted no time in establishing herself as a leader, researcher, mentor, and advocate, all while staying connected to the Institute as a lab instructor, term lecturer, and clinical supervisor. At Spaulding Rehabilitation Hospital, where she works, Melissa is a clinical specialist physical therapist on a spinal cord injury inpatient unit, which includes patients with any pathology involving the spinal cord, both traumatic and non-traumatic. In her clinical practice, she is committed to helping her patients reach their full potential and often uses her skills as a competitive ballroom dancer and former ballerina, coupled with her infectious, lighthearted personality to motivate her patients to move. Striving to realize the best outcomes for her patients, Melissa's research is tied to her clinical practice. She received a Clinical Scholars Independent Research Project Award in 2016 to investigate the use of neuromuscular electrical stimulation on gluteal and hamstring muscles to improve healing time for spinal cord injury patients with pressure ulcers. Wounds in spinal cord injury populations greatly affect morbidity, mortality, and quality of life, which is why Melissa is doing this research and became a certified wound specialist. Mentorship is another area where Melissa excels at Spaulding and at the Institute. She is a formal mentor to clinicians in her unit in all specialties and is seen as the go-to person to learn from, ask questions of, and problem solve with when dealing with difficult patient situations. At the Institute, students highly value her expertise. Her passion for physical therapy and compassion for her patients is palpable, and students see that and want to emulate it. Melissa's mentorship of students extends outside the classroom. She often has an IHP DPT student working with her full-time. Somehow, in addition to all the above, those who know her well know of Melissa's dedication to service to others, especially to the underserved. Since 2016, she has worked with STAND, the Haiti Project, providing pro bono care in a clinic in Haiti. Melissa travels several times per year to provide care for individuals with chronic and acute wounds and neurological diagnoses and teaches local nursing students about wound care. Additionally, Melissa presents podcasts from Haiti to show the world the work of STAND, and this has motivated her colleagues to also participate in STAND service. Melissa is so deserving of the Betty Ann Harris Distinguished Alumni Award, and we are delighted that she is our 2021 recipient. And now, a word from Provost Alex Johnson.
Good afternoon. My name is Alex Johnson, and I am the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Also, for the past year, I have served as the Interim Dean of the School of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences. For those students graduating from SHRS this year, I'm happy to share special greetings on behalf of all faculty and staff. You have shown accomplishment and resilience for which we're all proud, and you represent 6 different cohorts: physical therapy, speech-language pathology, PhD students, occupational therapy, physician assistant studies, and for the first time we have our first group of genetic counselors graduating. I want to offer congratulations to our soon-to-be colleagues, their families, our outstanding alumni, award winners, and to our faculty. You have all achieved so much despite the world's many attempts to interrupt learning and practice in ways none of us could have ever imagined. This virtual graduation proves that the IHP community keeps forging ahead, regardless of the obstacles in our way. My wish for our graduates is that your new profession and your new careers blossom into something better than you ever imagined. I hope that you carry with you the Institute's aspirations to interprofessionalism, respect for diversity, inclusion, justice, and equity for everyone, and practice within your field at the highest level attainable. I also hope that you remember the Institute and that you stay in touch. You are why we are all here. Congratulations. I now have the pleasure of introducing 2 other academic leaders who will offer greetings. First, I'm pleased to introduce Dean Elaine Tagliareni, Dean of the School of Nursing, and then Dr. Peter Kahn, Associate Provost for Academic Affairs and Director of the Center for Interprofessional Studies and Innovation.
Good afternoon. I had the honor of serving as your dean during your academic programs at the IHP. It has also been my honor to welcome the new dean of the School of Nursing, Dr. Kenneth White, who joined the IHP in July. Today, on behalf of the School of Nursing's esteemed faculty and hardworking staff, I want to congratulate the over 400 School of Nursing baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral graduates. As students, you faced the greatest global health challenge in a century and addressed issues of structural racism and healthcare inequality. You were on the front lines promoting health equity, offering hope and healing, turning your knowledge into effective advocacy for those you have been entrusted to serve. Congratulations, graduates. You are ready, and we could not be prouder of you.
The COVID-19 pandemic disrupted academic plans for all our graduates, but none more so than the candidates for the Master of Science in Health Professions Education. Students in HPED, as the program is called, are primarily working clinicians who are seeking to enhance their skills in the scholarship of teaching and learning. To reach the virtual stage today, they completed a publication-ready capstone project while providing frontline care. Graduates, this degree signifies your membership in an interprofessional community of over 120 HPED alumni. Along with them, you are ready to contribute to preparing new generations of health professionals whose knowledge and compassion will be even more essential in the future.
This is the moment you all have been waiting for, the conferring of degrees and certificates. Let us begin.
Presenting the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy in Rehabilitation Sciences. Jasmine Urquhart Gillis. Catherine L. Marks Hardigan. Kayla Lauren Stepancic. Laura Elizabeth Tolles. Presenting the candidates for the Master of Science in Health Professions Education. Tanya Catherine Adonisio. Peter Chinhong. Clarice Cooper. Kate Dorney. Jennifer Duran. Neva Margaret Howard. Tara L. Kelly. Zahira Khalid. Sean Wesley Cruz. Paul Christopher Lee. Rachel T. Pittman. Temple Andrew Ratcliffe. Sarah Avery Teal. Limin Wijaya. Jorge Danilo Yerzebski. Presenting the candidates for the Doctor of Nursing Practice. Elena Bezinok. Edward Elliott Birch, Lori Casale, Angela Chin, Pauline Karen Clark, Tamara M. Corsaro, Rosanna Encalada, Veronica Iris Quinn, Sean Francis Fahey, Carlos Manuel Blanchard Foguera, Irina Ilieva, Brenda Kashi, Paula Knotts, Adine Lattimore, On Lewin, Michaela and Mamory, Tanya M. Martel, Claire Ellen McConnell, Rita J. Morin, Lori Jean Pugsley, Pamela F. Quinn, Michelle M. Suris, Mary E. Thompson, Linda Zeman, presenting the candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing: Albert Francis Cudel, ABA, Joshua Michael Abrahams, Danielle Elizabeth Agrella, Timothy S. Jayon, Dorian Deborah Amati, Ryan John Andrews, Rachel Sarah Aronson, Andrea Victoria Auger, Alicia Avola, Jordana Delilah Baez, Ronnie Barboza, Peter J. Belfay Jr., Alexandra Belzer, Katerina Arbongiorni, Robert D. Brown, Deirdre J. Burke, Molly Rose Callahan, Olivia Chan, Veronica M. Chin, Meiso K. Chuthambo, Kayla Marie Christofferson, Adriana L. Coelho, Grace Walker Coviello, Patrick Joseph Curran III, Alexis V. Cushman, Ana Rita Bastos de Sena, Melissa D. Andrade, Rhea A. Demirosu, Ria S. Da Munker, Alexis Nicole Dickinson, Laurel Elizabeth Duffy, Amy Dale Dushkin, Christina Stamacia Fasolas, Marissa Adrian Fox, Andriana B. Friel, Alexandra Carolina Gali, Elena V. Gomez, Amanda Lynn Good, Majida Gumi, Devin Green, Kelsey Lane Harbor, Samantha K. Harris, Jessica Muriel Herrera, Michael J. Hitchner, Mikyeong Kim, Dawn R. Kirsch, Carly Lane Kobilars, Megan McFarland Krause, Catherine A. Kushner, Liesel Catherine Lafarge, Emma Louise Lachance, Dimitri Lamassir, Connor J. Larson, Frances Joan LeBlanc, Enrica Lufina Patrian Liebird, Samantha Vivian Lai, Ingrid Long Yin Ma, Madeline J. Macaluso, Manisha Marasetti, Justin Anthony Murata, Kathleen G. Matthews, Claire Margaret Mathon, Whitney Marion McCarthy, Megan L. McCarty, Maria Louise McGurran, Ashley Fuller McClellan, Joseph Anthony Mercurio, Kara A. Maloney, Samantha McLean Culligan Moran, Allison and Morse, Claire Rachel Nathan, Abigail Arneb, Emily Elizabeth Norman, Roosevelt Salvatore Mokeji, Augustine O. Lloyd, Kofi Omani, Gayatri Shray Parikh, Catherine Stephanie Perez, Benjamin Thomas Piedmont, Gabriel Dale Porter, Rebecca C. Rathburn, Gabrielle Rio, Adelise J. Roberts, Lisa Roy Sachs, Caitlin N. Sanders, Sarah J. Santana Perkins, Diana Paul Schlosser, Allison Pym Whittier Seitz, Natalie Cito, Catherine Shelby, Amanda Singerman, Carly Stahl, Max Robert Stern, Matthew David Stursnegger, Jessica Lee Tran, Jacqueline R. Velasquez Castaneda, Pamela S. Webster, Jessica L. Wilcoxon, Rachel Williams, Rachel Elizabeth Wilson, Sheena Marie Wood, Faith A. Woodside. Elena M. Zarcaro. Presenting the candidate for the Certificate of Advanced Study in Nursing. Nina Schussler. Presenting the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Carly A. Armstrong-Champ. Katrina Axios. Heather Ashley Banks. Hayden Miles Barber. Cheryl E. Berry. Jasmine K. Bath. Karen A. Blake. Miriam C. Bloom. Kaylin M. Boisver. Julianne Bransfield. Alyssa Brown. Julia Arbujo Hart. Midgie Cadet. Sarah M. Callie. Megan C. Camp. Lucas Carland. Ashley N. Centillo. Kyla M. Curvino. Jane Isabel Crowley. Sonia Del Carmen Abreu Curiel. Taylor Kuro. Sarah L. Deely. Talia Delato. JVJ Desai. Anthony Michael D'Souza. Gabrielle DiCollegiero. Sarah Louise Ditt Perry. Nicole Marie Donato. Casey M. Doma. Kaylee Erin Dugan. Kristen Durand. Greta Karen Dylas. Christina Rose Enos. Erndi Erase. Danielle Espinoza. Michelle L. Esposito. Taylor Evangelista. Nicole Alexandra Frzoko. Victoria Florin Foley. Kayla Paige Furman, Lauren Elizabeth Gillis, Mark Glebus, Riley C. Goodwin, Yurleen Grandoyet, Adriana Juliet Green, Jacqueline Garza Granier, Kristen Mira Grudel, Emily Elizabeth Guerrero, Ella M. Haynes, Jacqueline K. Hale, Marina Gracie Hartnick, Lauren Elizabeth Hadla, Jenna S. Henningsen, Vanessa Herrera, Kai Alexandra Hill, Carly Hokinson, Monique Howard, Catherine and Hutchison, Trang Huynh, Gregory James Iacarino, Demi Eisenstad, Elizabeth P. Jackson, Deborah Jean-Francois, Molly C. Jensen, Christian M. Johnson, Kathleen Mary Johnson, Laura Kathleen Johnson, Caroline Carr, Brenna Kaylee Keefe, Jake W. Keenan, Martha Jean Kelly, Allison M. Kelsey, Elizabeth M. Cohane, Emma Marie Kern, Diane M. Kim, Catherine King, Kayla M. Kinnair, Zoe A. Kriz, Rebecca F. Chroma, Ming Tai Kuo, Kelsey C. Lafreniere, Michaela M. Landry, Samantha Michelle Laterolo, Eshe Chinyere Lorrunt, Nicole LaBelle, Jong Soon Lee, Nicole Lee, Mengchen Lo, Morgan F. Lowry, David Van Lee, Emily Rose McFarlane, Kennedy Elizabeth Marshall, Ian McKinnon Cameron Martin, Joie and Mustandria, Taylor Matisse, Stephanie Marie Mays, Kristen McHugh, Stephanie Metter, Allison E. Mello, Jennifer Nicole Mercoris, Sheska Vanessa Mignon, Caitlin Michelle Milana, Autumn Miller, Nardine Nash Mode, Pooja Modi, Christine Moon, Tyranny Morrison Rolfs, Eleni Mautsatzos, Aaron Lee Mullen, Belinda Joy Nabukalu, Yoland N. Jonger, Caitlin M. O'Connor, Christine Jane O'Donoghue, Virginia Obewi, Megan Catherine Marie O'Loughlin, Madeline Kelly O'Neill, Kaya Wunner, Corey O'Rourke Crowley, Deidre Batare Oruma, Charmabindi Patel, Andrew Stephen Pierce, Kristen Elizabeth Patini, Ethan E. Pierce, Jacqueline E. Powers, Lily Pratt, Amanda M. Prine, Natalia Pulaski, Mary Jo Ray, Maggie Mason Raymer, Cassidy T. Ramos, and Forster Riley. Carissa A.N. Remming, Renee Jessi Reeves, Ashley Elizabeth Rohal, Genevieve Rose Ryder, Lauren Elizabeth Sampson, Molly Christine Sanford, Ethan Daniel Schlotterbeck, Dora Schreiber, Irene Safogby, Sabrina SEO, Fiona Heather Shea, Jamie Schickles, Leonie Shorhokian, Brooke Shostek, Jacqueline Hope Shuttleworth, Miranda L. Smith, Olivia Marie Smith, Catherine M. Snee, Kayla Tavares Soares, Megan St. Martin, Catherine Jane Stapleton, Andrew Stevens, Michaela and Stowe, Kristen Marie Svensson, Sukha Lakshmi Tamang, Ivy Charmaine Tells, Cecilia Tai, William Thornton, Alana Tierney, Megan Lee Tierney, Cecilia Tran, Juliet Tripaldi, Nancy Sang, Juliana P. Yukuz, Kristen W. Vander Els, Samantha C. Walker, Renee Wong, Cassandra Lillian Wellahan, Thomas Mark Wickham, Megan Kimberly Wu, Samuel Yen, Daniel J. Young, Martin Kramer Zhang, presenting the candidates for the Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology: Sybil J. Ambazaklo, Shahad Benafif, Lori Preeti Bharadwaj, Morgan E. Booth, Shannon Lee Bryant, Allison Nicole Chan, Nicole Alexandra Cortez, Michelle Teresa del Castillo, Shayna Emily Delala, Samia T. Elahi, Allison S. Fiello, Jess A. Frost, Yulia Geneva, Brooke Leon Goldstein, Anna Victoria Gould, Eliza Catherine Grant, Priscilla Grillock Hiss, Alexandra Grace Hansen, Ani Kathleen Harlan, Leanne S. Howd, Courtney M. Jones, Kayla J. Kenny, Tatiana Kolesnikova, Michael David La Scala, Taylor Larson, Charlotte M. LaShore, Jioin Lee, Shanlin Liao, Alana Michelle Luttinger, Lindsay Ryan Marino, Sarah Augusta Marin, Jillian E. McCann, Alexa M. Matrano, Eileen Lenore Melio, Amanda J. Miller, Richard Minari, Sarah Moser, Ki at T Pum Nan Ta Nugun, Rachel Tara Norton, Charles Nettleman, June Okada, Rosa Lynn Ortega, Nicole Paquin, Sydney Hirsch Peskin, Jillian Elise Piccoli, Preethi Rishi, Erica Lee Romanoli, Kayla Serafina Roman, Alex Krista Rubio, Anna Marie Schauer, Elisandra Siegel, Ariana Yael Seidman, Barbara Jeanette Speidel, Chloe Renee Statho, Alisa Julie Torshon, Megan Elizabeth Urbano, Alessandra Verdi, Kelly McKenna Walton, Kristen Wei Harak Young, Lauren Jean Welch, Ailish Claire Welsh, Li Jiang, presenting the candidates for the Certificate of Advanced Study in Literacy and Language. Carrie Jean Bisaga, Janet L. Brown, Tanya Jean DeStefano, Kimberly and French, Assad A. Fulton, Kristen M. Keegan, Marie Ripa, Lori Simmons, Lucy M. Steer, Amy Burnham Terrio, Lauren Thompson, Carolina Wade, Sarah M. Wishner, Laura Zanin, presenting the candidates for the Master of Science in Genetic Counseling: Abby Jane Burney, Rebecca L. Burns, Melanie P. Cruz, Jocelyn Saenz Diaz, Erin Beatrice Falsey, Abigail Feiner, Caitlin M. Finn, Kelsey M. Fusco, Emma Rachel Henricks, Alice Iona Metz, Ryan C. Murtha, Joseph Arpagliarullo, Kaylee N. Perez, Gabriella Gianna Raffaelli, Antoine Rejkovic, Cashel Rice, Matthew B. Rich, Alex Marie Vogel, Cheyenne Amber Walmsley, Megan Mariah Worth, presenting the candidates for the Doctor of Occupational Therapy: Samantha Vivian Rosa Batti, Kimberly McCrae Ames, Ariana Bader, John Paul Bonadana, Courtney Morgan Brennan, Casey J. Brown, Rachel M. Ciccarello, Sarah Elizabeth Corning, Anna Nocdo, Amanda Joy Downey, Eliza S. DuPont, Danielle Ehrlich, Alicia Ferraro, Lindsay Jean Ferrieri. Catherine M. Golden. Emily Grace Gomez. Meghana Gohachai. Kindle Brian Guyton. Emily Elizabeth Handley. Alexandra Della Haney. Corinne I. Annie. Emily M. Idemoto. Christine Jong. Heather M. Jones. Ashley Rennie Juniper. Jonathan Christopher Cabshura. Allison Rose Clowen. Tina W. Lai. Nicole Chelsea Lamb. Amy Marie Lamont. Faye Christina McGuire. Kristen Whitney Messina. Kate Marie O'Brien. Jackie Rose Pa Quinn. Vivian Gwyn Fawn. Alyssa R. Regina. Hannah Margaret Rold. Rachel Morgan Rubin. Maya Shah Anand. Natasha Sanjeev Shah. Catherine Joan Shaughnessy. Kelsey Mays Sullivan. Jenna Lee Sostak. Davide Mark Trinkley. Presenting the candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy. Carly Arbeit. Miriam Zahava Axelbaum. Ryan Patrick Byrell. Vincent Chen. Haley Christine Davis. Sarah Nicole Dempsey. Molly Amelia Donovan. Julia Melanie Dassett. Megan C. Erlandson. Faye Etienne, Christina Marie Fernandez, Mason Anthony Fessler, Lindsay Josephine Fletcher, Alicia M. Franklin, Madeline Jo Fuchs, Stephen Michael Gant, Megan Tadoldi Giglio, Benjamin Gordon, Kareen Hawes, Lena A. Hidayat, Madison Lee Horner, Jason J.C. Hissey, Elizabeth Nora Johnson, Jared A. Juarez, Ian Carby, Alice Kalaf E. Yen, Junza Kim, Sarah Michelle Knight, Rebecca M. Langdon, Catherine Taylor Lawson, Steve Lett, Zena Lee, Austin Chun Leung, Vivian Bowen Leung, Alex Lin, Stephanie Aletta Lin, Ana Lucia Lotz, Eric S. Luo, Allison L. Martella, Shannon Meermans McCrae, Victoria Elizabeth Misitano, Rudolph Mitchell, Megan Elizabeth Moisand, Kendra Alexis Morshak, Sonakshi Narayan, Sarah H. Newberry, Gina Wynn, Matthew Picard Fraser, Jacqueline M. Pontel, Rachel Brevet, Eileen Richards, Kayla Lynn Schultz, Jordan Smith, Tanner J. Snow, Tyler A. Souza, Lisa Karen Stone, Javier Jurgen Strickler, Stephen Sue, Wesley Benet Sutton, Lindsay R. Sweet, Jason Tan, Taryn Marie Tersack, Catherine J. Torres, Adam Hugh Tran, Kamaria A. Brene Washington, Annalisa Webb Gordon, Anna Melissa Will, Emily Christine Workman, Samantha K. Humans, presenting the candidates for the Master of Physician Assistant Studies: Mohammed A. Adan, Catherine Boynton Brandt, Liana T. Brockway, Jennifer and Badiola Canaday, Caitlin Marie Carlson, David Clenard, Francesca Coughlin, Alexandra Kingsley Ellis, Marilyn Elizabeth Ferris, Aubrey Lynn Fiacco, Layden Hakim-Javadi, Kalania Hansen, Corey C. Ibsen, Aaron E. Johnson, Brooke A. Kent, Dana Marie Kane, William Churchill Laurie IV, Kristen Marie Lumen, Margaret R. Maynard, Jamie Lynn McAdee, Jacqueline R. Morton, Cameron Thomas Mossgrove, Ashley Wells Monroe, Edison Naranjo Mejia, Sabrina A. Parise, Maria Riccitti, Payman Roxay Jaff, Tara Marie Reynolds, Caroline Therese Rizzo, Morgan Christine Russell, Courtney Danielle Shopke, Joshua Tzvi Shupstar, Reg V. Shaju, Michael Hayes Teradash, Jr., Lillian M. Taylor, Julon Antonia Texera, Elizabeth Anna Therian, Morgan and Trombley, Kevin Matthew Twombly, Anna Vaughn West, Joseph Ashlyn Whitaker, Brian Trevor Woodward, Rebecca Nozomi Yenaga, Iris Aishanzing, presenting the candidates for the Master of Science in Health Studies: Andrew J. Gordon, Qiannan Zhang, presenting the candidate for the Master of Science in Rehabilitation Sciences: Danielle Christine Klein,
As you graduate from the IHP, know that you are joining a community of people who understand your experiences as they traveled the same path at one time. In celebration of your graduation, we've asked a few alums to share their insights on the community and the disciplines you're joining. Enjoy.
We would like to welcome each and every one of you who's graduating today to our peer community of alumni from the IHP.
The transition from going from a student to person in practice is very challenging, but it's something you've been preparing for your entire 2 to 3 years at the IHP. You've been going from test to field work to placement, and at this point, you're ready.
We've all been through the challenges of getting through school and the rigorous training, and we made it through to the other side, and we want to celebrate you and your accomplishments as well.
I speak for my class and everyone that I know that went to the IHP that we are so lucky to have you, so lucky to have your mind, so lucky to have your skill sets and your backgrounds as part of our community.
We all are here to work together as leaders to achieve success and take care of our patients in the best possible way.
Honestly, when I was going into my first job, I thought that I did not have all the tools that I needed from going through school and my clinical experiences. And as I was working, I realized that I was actually much more prepared than I thought I was.
It might feel like you don't have the knowledge that you need, but you do. And what's most important is that if you don't know the answer, you have been trained and you've worked hard throughout your whole time at IHP to be able to find the answer, and that's the most important thing.
Every year since graduating, I have reached out to multiple professors, multiple people that mentored me at the IHP, that taught me at the IHP. And I, every single day, have been connected with and in contact with my classmates and the amazing people that I was able to receive my education with. And I'm so grateful for all those people.
Just go into it, with open arms and an open mind, and just always be willing to learn. I'm constantly learning every day. They say that orientation is a 3-month process, but it's a year-long process. You keep learning every day. You learn from your peers, you learn from your patients, you learn from yourself.
I want you to believe in yourselves and your training and each other, and have fun doing what you're doing, and you're going to do great things and help change the world.
And make sure to be excited. This is what you've worked for. And when you look back in a year after finally graduating and working in the field that you chose to go through this whole time, you're going to be so excited to see your own growth and see how to move others forward.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. By the authority granted by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the trustees of the MGH Institute of Health Professions do hereby confer upon you the degrees and certificates recommended by the faculty, thereby admitting you to all the privileges and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. You are now officially IHP alumni, bringing the grand total of graduates to an historic high of just over 9,000. I hope that having this commencement as a virtual event in no way diminished your pride in what you have accomplished. You have been an amazing class, and you already have an amazing legacy of flexibility in the face of adversity and a commitment to becoming a health professional. We hope that you will keep in touch, share your news as you embark on or continue your professional career, and take advantage of the many services available to you through our dedicated Office of Career and Alumni Services. Before we conclude today's ceremony, I want to remind you to please join us at the virtual Zoom cocktail party beginning at 4 p.m. today. This concludes the 41st commencement exercises of MGH Institute of Health Professions. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate our newest class of graduates. Thank you.